Hi. I see that a few of you are on. I know I didn't exactly promote this, so this was kind of like a jump by your kind of seat kind of live, and the camera really sucks. I'm gonna have to work on this. But I'm on my laptop. So does anybody have any questions for me? As far as manifestation, I thought I'd jump on for a little bit and just kind of answer questions. So tell me, what is going on with all of you? Because the chat's on and I just see people sitting back. How's everybody? How's your Thanksgiving going? What are you struggling with? What do you need help with in particular? Okay. How can I overcome the fear of being cheated on 3P? Okay, let's talk about this. So, the idea of being cheated on, so there's a third party obviously in your reality, right? So the third party is always a manifestation of your fears. So they're just a projection of you, right? Like literally showing you what's within you. So it's a snapshot. So I can almost guarantee anytime you have a third party, you've had third parties in the past, right? So it's usually a repeat. It could be, here's the thing too. How can I overcome the fear of being cheated on a 3P? So do you actually have a 3P master money fester? This would be a better question to ask you. Do you actually have a third party or do you fear having a third party? Manifesting union. So Todd, if okay, so I don't know what you mean by manifesting union. Do you mean like a twin flame reunion or do you just mean you want reunion with your specific person? And then no, no 3P, but I am afraid of it. Okay. So, I'm assuming you've dealt with this in the past. So, anytime we fear something, it's because we have this within our self concept, right? We have experience with this specific issue. Things tend to repeat until we shift because then it becomes your new predominant state. Oh my God, I look so fuzzy. I'm not used to this. But besides that, so the fear of having a third party, depending on, I don't know what your insecurities are in particular when it comes to a third party. Usually when we're fearful of someone coming in and taking our SP or um, being cheated on, it's because we feel like we're not good enough or there's someone better for them and we're not going to be chosen. So you need to work on your self-concept first and foremost. It has nothing to do with them, all to do with your self-concept. Because if you don't work on that, it's going to continue and continue and continue like a bad habit. Hello, can everyone see me? I look so pixelated. Like I don't think I've seen something this pixelated since like literally like when I was a teenager online. But that's okay. I'll be on here with you for a little bit. It's going to be a quick live today because I got a lot of things to do because of the holiday, but I wanted to jump on. This is kind of like, my I would say like like test run with YouTube because I haven't done it before. I'm very new to it. But yes, okay, glad you can all see me. So let's get back to manifesting union. Since it's a smaller group of us, right? You can be more specific with your question. So, what do you want? What does manifesting union mean? Does that mean like just going on a date? Does that mean just talking to each other? Does that mean marriage? Does that mean a relationship? Do you see what I'm saying? Hi, Courtney. Hi, Todd. I'm happy to hear you all see me. Okay. Can you give me affirmations for my self concept? Well, so here's the thing. If those are the things that you need addressing, right? So, other than just being fearful of it, what are you afraid of? Like they're going to leave you forever? Or like, is it just the fear of being cheated on? Do you see what I'm saying? It's not just, okay. So, I think here's the thing. I can give you affirmations, but what if they don't resonate for you? I am you pushed out and I can help you give you information, but a lot of you think there's like this magic formula to getting something done or to changing your self concept. That's not how it works. You must change internally. I can give you affirmations all day, but if you don't do the self work, then it's not even about doing the work. If I'm being really honest, if you don't take the affirmation, like if you don't Here's the thing. I can give you affirmations for days, okay? Like a whole freaking list. But if you're not applying it properly and they don't resonate for you or it doesn't give you like, if it doesn't feel good to you, then it's not going to do anything for you. Do you see what I'm saying? So, what in particular do you need to address? What do you think you need to address? What are you struggling with? You need to be more specific in your question so I can better answer. Okay. So, let me read this now. We separated and we are in deep love and long distance merging worlds. So, that's great that you're in love and you're doing long distance. So you just want to, do you want to manifest them moving to where you are? Do you just want to manifest marriage while living apart? Here's the thing. If you're not specific in what you want, then you're not going to specifically get what you want either. Do you see what I'm saying? You need to be specific. No, I want to be living in Colorado with my love and we're happily married, right? And then you focus on that and create inner conversations, an imaginal scene, or whatever for that specific thing. Manifestations often seem on and off. Sometimes my relationship seems strong one day and the next day it seems a little bit distant. And that just makes me worried all over again. Okay, there's nothing to worry about, but here's the thing. They are reflecting to you what is within you, right? So here's the thing. I feel like people get so caught up in they're doing this, my boss did this. No one's doing anything to you. That doesn't mean that you have to, like tolerate the shitty behavior or necessarily accept the version that you have, but you need to stop giving that version attention. And then you need to change your self-concept that created that version in the first place. They kind of work together, right? You might have beliefs that this person is just that way. They're wishy-washy. But if you have beliefs that people don't commit to you and people show up wishy-washy, well, it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? If you're only treating think of anytime you're only trying to change your SP, and I don't even want to say, I say change loosely because you can't really change anyone but yourself, right? If you're only focusing on them, you're not addressing the inner issues and they're going to be back and forth because your self-concept still isn't there yet. Yes, they might temporarily shift or change, but it's not until you shift internally and know that that you're someone people are sure about. You're someone that's good enough. You're someone that people give their full attention to, that they're going to do that back to you. Does that make sense? So people often just want to change the person because the person's the problem, right? The third party is the problem. The SP is the problem. My boss is the problem. My dog's the problem. You are the problem. You are your own third party. I say this all the time, and I'm a huge believer in that. And I'm telling you, when you really get that, shit changes like this in your reality, okay? But you shouldn't get hung up okay, yeah, it sucks that happened, but you can change anything, okay? I'm afraid the third party could appear and I would be left for someone else. See, so what I said initially, you have a fear of there being someone else or someone better than you. So you need to create a self-concept around that. You need to become very solid in who you are, believing that you can manifest anything, number one, right? And then that you're the kind of person that people don't leave. You're loved and accepted exactly the way you are. And there's no one better for you and no one deceives you. You probably have a belief that people cheat because you did use that word earlier, okay? My SP was a cheater in his previous relationship. See, that's a story you're holding about them, though. We need to be conscious of the stories that we're telling. And here's the thing, it's not just about and yes, self-concept is a very important part, but changing the story about them is just as important, okay? So just make sure you're doing that. Self-concept is honestly such a struggle. It really isn't, though. Here's the thing. It is, and it can be if that's your state, right? If we understand that we manifest from states, states are like costumes. Think of it as Halloween. Every day is Halloween. If I'm in I call it the jailbird when you feel like nothing's working for you. Let's say you're wearing the jail outfit, right? That ugly, orange jumpsuit and you're nothing works. I'm stuck. Then that's a struggle, right? You're not somewhere where you want to be. You have to shift out of that state in order for things to get easier. So you need to start believing that self-concept is actually easy. It's the same as believing, people that believe well, if I just prepare myself for the worst, then I can never get hurt, right? It's assuming only the worst. Well, if you keep assuming the worst about everything, then you're going to keep always getting everything's not going to be quite the way you want it. You're only going to manifest undesirable things in your reality. This is about changing your core root beliefs about yourself and the world and the person or whatever you're trying to change. It's a reflection of all of it. But at the core root of it, it's you. Like you're not changing the person, but self-concept can be a struggle if you think it is, right? So you really need to work on that. And I get that like you're trying to be funny about that. It is very funny. It can't Here's the thing, people get so caught up in like just trying to change one thing that they forget that there's all these other aspects to your life, right? Like your health, your family, your dog, I don't know, your boss, your neighbor. Like we get so caught up in just like so many people in the law of assumption community, and I'm all for it. Like there's nothing wrong with manifesting a specific person. I think it's beautiful. I think there's so much, you know, that can be changed and so many beautiful things to happen. But if we're just like, you don't need someone else. People are caught up in the idea of a specific person because they think they need that person to feel a certain way. I'm loving the Christmas tree. It's so unique. Oh, thank you. It's very Christmassy. And yes, it's white and it's got cool ornaments. And I've got like a big, bright, I've even got like reindeer. I don't know if you see them. Hello. Just hanging out. I'm going to tell you guys, I am going to start coming live on here like every week. Today was just like literally like, it was very last minute this week. I almost canceled today because of the holiday. I was just like, I didn't really promote it, right? Other than like in the stories. I'm going to like pick a day though this weekend and I'm going to go live every single week on YouTube. I think I'm going to really do YouTube and Instagram for a while. And then like, I'm going to kind of interval do TikTok, but all right. So I'm loving the Christmas tree. I just don't know how to address the fear. I affirm that I'm chosen. It's because okay. I don't know how to address the fear. You mean the fear when it comes up while you're affirming, like the resistance that you have to changing? Is that what you are referring to? You have to feel it, master money faster. You have to feel it. Like it's not about like just shifting your focus. If you have fears that come up or like anxiety, you need to deal with it. The anxiety you just allow, you don't fight anxiety. You don't even fight fear. You just allow it, you accept it and you disconnect from the story. People get stuck in like a hamster wheel of like, so there's two sides of the coin to feeling something, right? You don't want to feel it and feed back into the story. You need to cut yourself, like you need to cut the story going on in your head and just feel the emotion and then kind of like go about your day and then go like, you know, live in the end or whatever. Because if you sit here and like rethink about the story and get triggered and rethink about the story and get triggered, it's like this monotonous thing that's going to keep happening over and over again. Okay. I just don't know how to address that fear that I'm not chosen, priority, etc. The fear is there. Do you know what I mean by feeling the emotion? Do you know what I mean by that? Some people do, some do not. Is everyone out shopping? I feel like everyone's shopping. Yes. Okay. I've come across some videos about self-concept, which you basically fall asleep to where I repeat. That's not what self-concept is. Here's the thing. People think, Courtney, I think that's a great question, but self-concept is not just falling asleep to affirmations repeating. That's part of it. That can definitely reprogram your mind, but self-concept is no different than trying to manifest a different thing, right? You're trying to embody a new version of you. When you catch yourself thinking all these shitty things about yourself, you need to feel the emotions when they come up, and then you need to feed yourself the new story after you. Okay, so you feel what you feel, right? The resistance, get it down to a 0. And then after that, you need to go into like an inner conversation of like, I'm chosen, I'm enough, I love myself. Look at it. Like, I can do this. Like, it doesn't even have to be I am chosen. It could be like, fuck yeah, I'm good enough. Fuck yeah, I can do this. Like, look how far I've come. Like, I know I can manifest whatever I want. I've seen some movement in other areas of my reality. So of course I can do this of course I can do this with love or whatever, or with my specific person. But I need to love myself and I'm getting there and I'm doing okay. You don't even have to tell yourself you're chosen. You could be like, I am starting to believe I'm chosen. I'm starting to accept that I'm chosen. Some people aren't ready for that yet. And if you're not, you can use an in-between word like, I now accept, or I'm starting to accept, I'm starting to believe. Why the hell does it have to be I am chosen? It could be, what does it feel like to be the version of me that feels chosen? What does it feel like to be the version of me that feels safe and secure? What does it feel like to be the version of me that knows that nothing can be taken away from them or taken away from me? Courtney, you could do this multiple ways. Have you even tried doing it like in a third person? Like, you are chosen, you are amazing, you are enough. You are the person that everyone wants to commit to. You are the person people stay with forever. Because that alone sometimes can change it. But sweetie, if you're not, I highly doubt you're on a mental diet. Like, a lot of people will be like, oh, I'm trying to change my self-concept, but I'm just thinking random things throughout the day and just affirming once or twice. That's not how it works, my love. If you want to embody a new state, you have to make sure that you're paying attention. Mental diet isn't about flipping thoughts. It's just being aware when the ship. Think of it this way, okay? And I know this is kind of a silly analogy, but I like using it. You're like the Titanic. You're either about to hit an iceberg or you're not. You just have to re-steer the ship from hitting the iceberg, okay? And you do that by re-steering the conversation, re-steering the imagination, right? But you do that after you deal with the resistance. So when you catch yourself kind of like pivoting and feeling a certain way, you go, okay, I'm feeling something now. Right now, I'm not feeling chosen. Like, maybe your brain's like, you're never going to get them. You suck. Of course they're going to cheat on you. Everyone's been cheated. You've been cheated on a million times. Think about Brian, Jennifer, whoever, right? Blah, blah, blah. Your brain's just going crazy, right? In that moment, when you start feeling like shit and you start feeling this resistance comes up, you got to be like, okay, I'm going to steer the ship. First, let me cut the story, meaning like you in your mind, I want you to like imagine breaking like an umbilical cord from your like brain to your body and just literally cutting it and then feel into your body. Be like, okay, where do I feel this discomfort right now? I feel it in my throat. I feel it in my heart. I feel it in my stomach. I feel it in my brain, wherever. Okay. Because you're going to feel it somewhere in your body. Maybe it's just in your heart. When you feel it in your heart, you're going to be like, okay, now that this story's done, what am I really feeling right now? I'm feeling a little anxious. I'm feeling not chosen. I'm feeling like I'm going to get betrayed and I'm feeling like I'm not good enough. Okay. Right. So you're going to feel into that. You're going to be like, okay, I'm just going to allow myself to feel these things right now. Feeling them doesn't do anything bad. It's just about feeling it, dissolving it, right? So if you sit here and just like feel what it feels like to feel not chosen, rejected, not good enough. And what was the other one I think I said? I don't remember because there were a bunch of them. You're feeling into it, right? So you're going to sit with it. And you're just going to allow it. And if the brain starts to chatter again, like all those old stories, then you're just going to, like, if it's like, oh, think about all your other exes that have cheated on you. You're just like, nope. You're going to cut the cord to that story, or you're going to crumble it up and then toss it in the trash. And then you're going to get back into your body and you're going to feel those emotions. Eventually it'll get down to a zero. You won't feel jack shit. I promise. Like, you'll feel relief. You'll be like, wow, like, okay, it's safe for me to feel these feelings. And even if you get anxious, just allow it. And I'll be honest, sometimes it can get a little more intense before it goes down to dull, but you'll get it down to a zero. And then after that, after you're done, you're going to go to the reality that you want, right? You just dealt with the emotions and then you're going to be like imagining in your imaginal scene or whatever, right? Or you can do the self-concept of also giving yourself what you need, which is actually a big part of it. You should do that as well. So you should sit there and be like, after it's done, right? You felt what you felt. What does it feel like to be the version of me that feels chosen? What does it feel like to be the version of me that can't get rejected? What does it feel like to be the version of me that's that's loved unconditionally? What does it feel like to be the version of me that people like don't want to leave? Like, it's actually annoying because they want to be around me so much, right? That's a vibe in itself. And then after that, you can go into the imaginal scene of being with your specific person. It's simply, I'm not joking you when I say this on the lives. And I know I haven't done a feeling technique in a while, like showing you guys how to feel the resistance, but it's simply that simple. Okay. I've come across some of your videos about self-concept. Okay. That's such a good point though, because repressing negative emotions just becomes so healthy. Yeah, exactly. Okay. And I know some of you saw the video where I was crying, right? In that moment when I started crying, I was feeling things and I let myself. The truth is I was trying to record another video like on motivation. And then I just started bawling because I was having a moment. And then I was like, whatever. And then I was like, okay, do I stop this? And I was about to. And then I was like, no, You know what? Let this be a message to everybody, because we all have those moments, but I didn't dwell in it, right? I felt you in the video, you see me touch my heart because I allowed myself to feel. Do you know how quickly I can deflate emotions now? That doesn't mean I don't cry for 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 minutes. That doesn't mean I don't even have a bad day. Absolutely, I do. I'm human. We all are. No coach is perfect. Like, we're probably better at navigating ourselves through this because we're more awake. Like, we don't forget who we are as often, but we have moments. Everybody does. It's normal. It's natural. Like, feeling how you feel isn't a bad thing, okay? Hi, my ex-hubby says he's getting married. Okay, so sweetie, I saw that video. It was real. It was very real. And I'll be honest, like, I was so terrified to share that video. I'm probably not going to share this live. Um because it's like it's like a fluke, it's like a random one. But I am going to share some of the ones I did on Instagram on here. But moving forward, I will leave them up afterwards. It's just this one's kind of like, I don't like how grainy it looks. I feel like it's like a cam from like the early 2000s, like when I was a teenager, like looking into the camera, whatever. But okay, so if you're worried about your hubby getting married to the 3P, my love, you need, okay, so you're saying heartbroken, any advice? I have a really good video on my YouTube called Why Manifesting Your Specific Person is Keeping You from Them. I go over a lot of components in there. So I don't know what you've been doing. And I don't know where your headspace is as far as like how far in the journey you are. If you're super triggered about manifesting them back, I'm assuming you are, especially if it's going to that. But remember, the third party doesn't mean anything, right? You first and foremost have to like stop giving them power, because the thing is, the only time that a third party really becomes like, I don't even want to say they become permanent, because they're not permanent. Okay, nothing in your reality is permanent. It's only permanent because you think it is. A lot of people can't bring their specific person back when they're with a third party, because they try to live in the end, and the third party like lives rent free in their mind. And then it's like a double-edged sword. You keep getting more of what you don't want. And then you're trying to live in the end with your specific person, but this person is still in your head, right? And it triggers the fuck out of you. That's when you need to take a break. If you are crazy triggered by like the circumstances in front of you, that tells me your self-concept is probably all over the place, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But that's when you really need to leave your manifestation alone, focus on yourself, focus on self-concept, and leave it alone. And that video goes into great detail. I saw that video was real. Thank you, love. Thank you. 4 years of trying. Listen, 4, 5, 10, 20, I don't give a fuck. Doesn't matter. He's been back twice. Okay, so you've gotten him back twice. You have, sweet Susanna, you have the fucking proof. Girl, you got proof like nobody's fucking business. You've done it twice, but you probably have in your self-concept this belief that there's someone better than you and that they're going to leave you again, or maybe that they're unsure about you. I'm not 100% sure because I can't tell a lot from your comment, but I'm telling you, nothing. If I were you, I would just take a break. Like, only good things come from breaks. And I'm telling you because I've done it in my life multiple times. Breaks are always a good idea, I think. Okay. I hope that's giving you some help, because like I don't have a lot of information to give you more about the subject. Yeah, I'm probably going to be on here for about 5 more minutes. Do you guys have any more questions? Like, today was just kind of like a default, but I think in the future though, I am definitely going to be more setting, like I'm going to like schedule them so like I'm coming live on a certain day. I promise you I'm more or less given up. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving. Why are you giving up though? I mean, Susanna, if you want, like I offer one-on-one coaching, you're more than welcome. You don't need it, but at the very least, please go watch my video, Why Manifesting Your Specific Person is Keeping You from Them. There's like so many gems in there. Like I literally tell you everything to do. I'm telling you, the biggest problem for some people is just focusing on their circumstances. Because remember, you always get more of what your focus is, of what you are, right? It's not about everything else. Meaning, if you're sitting here worried that what's my biggest manifestation wins, girl, so many, I can't even tell you. Like, I've saved people from the brink of death. Like, I've revised crazy shit Some stuff I'm not comfortable sharing because it's very personal and it's just, it involves other people, but I know anything's possible. I've seen it. Like I've seen crazy shit. So there is no big, and here's the thing, I don't call them big manifestations because then that would mean some of my manifestations are easier and some are harder. Y'all need to be careful when you start believing that like this is bigger, this is smaller. No, it's all the same. I've heard coaches say it and I know it sounds lame and I know I'm going to say it and drill it in your head a little bit more. Manifesting a cup of coffee versus manifesting a specific person or being like the next fucking, I don't know, Britney Spears or the next Beyonce is no different. It's just your assumptions that get in the way. You have to persist and change those things so you can become that person. That's all that's standing in your way, literally. But some people, and then sometimes we're only comfortable giving ourselves what we think we can manifest or what we think what we deserve, which is all bullshit because it's all you. This whole world is you. You're like, seriously, like, I think I posted on my Twitter the other day and it's very true. I don't know if I'm going to leave in a few minutes. I might say a little bit longer, but all I'm trying to say to all of you is, do you not realize no one would exist in this fucking world without you? Nobody would. That's how special you are. That's how powerful you are. Truly. Like, no one is more powerful than you. Who the fuck is more powerful than you? Nobody. Nobody. Okay? So let's move on. High frequency matters. What do you mean by high frequency? Okay. My loves, I will be honest with you, unicorns. Y'all are magical as fuck, and I want you to wake up to this. I don't know what you mean by frequency. Frequency, I'm guessing you mean vibration, right? Like when you're in high vibes, all this. Listen, it's good to feel good. I'm not going to lie. You do usually manifest better. When you feel good and you're prioritizing yourself, fuck yeah, you're going to manifest better. That is not a lie. I've seen it in my own life. That's why prioritizing yourself is so fucking important, like to the point where I'm swearing a lot today because I'm in a mood, obviously. But I don't know what you mean by frequency. Do you mean like love frequency? Do you mean like, here's the thing. I've seen people do the list, like where it's like the different levels. Like I think 0 is like, it's like love is like the highest frequency. And then you're talking about that like resonation scale or whatever the fuck it is. Sure, that helps, but who gives a fuck about that? You can manifest in any state because you're limitless. You could be in depression 1 second and you can be in high vibes a second. It's all a choice. Let's be really honest here. We could be doomsday people and be like, nothing fucking works. My life sucks. I'm stuck, blah, blah, blah. And I'm not here to make fun of you because I've done it too. We're all guilty of this. If I think the worst, then that way I'm prepared. It is what it is. It's just hard. Everything's hard for me. It's your self-concept. You need to change in order for the outside world to change, right? So there is no high vibe frequency. Like there is, like, I get what you're saying, but like, I wouldn't think of it in that way because when you're saying high frequency, you're basically saying you're not able to achieve it. You can achieve anything in an instance if you can just start thinking like the person. Neville said, I think it's, there are many mansions. I don't remember the exact quote, but it's like, there are many mansions, meaning there are multiple realities. There are multiple states. Okay. You get to choose in the state you get to dwell in. It's as quick as, okay. So there's someone I love very dearly who's a very advanced quantum coach, and she believes in law of assumption just in a different kind of aspect. And she's not really into SPs, even though she does believe you can bring people back. And she used to tell me, Maria, it's just a feeling. And I've mentored with her before, and I fucking love this woman, and she's wonderful. And it's so true. It's just a feeling. It's like a note on a fucking keyboard, right? So there is a lot of truth to the way you feel having some effect on things, but it's not just about that. And then if you're sitting there and saying high frequency, high vibe, you're also limiting yourself. Why not just believe you can be in any state that you want like that? Why not make that a fucking belief? And here's another thing that like I really have thought about, and it really hit hard home the other day. Who the fuck said that we have to reprogram our minds? What if it's not that hard? What if reprogramming your mind is just a belief that you have that is making shit harder for you? Start questioning everything in your fucking reality. question everything. Is this something I want? Be like, start, like, it's so important that we start questioning everything because I mean, you know how many times like people will talk to me about the government being shitty and our food in the US, blah, blah, blah. There's like so much bullshit. And I'll admit I've been one of those people that sometimes give into those conversations. And then I'm like, why the fuck am I sitting here and having conversations and persisting in things that I don't want to see in the world anymore. I want to see a government where everything is really holistic and natural and where we are really loved and they're treating us even better than Europe. Like, why the fuck am I going to sit here and believe the elite are like sketchy people that are Illuminati? Like, I don't really believe that so much anymore. I'm not saying that it doesn't exist, but I'm just saying, like, why the fuck would I even want that in my reality if I know I get to consciously choose something better? Do you see what I'm saying? Like, here's a great story. Like, this is how quickly I turned it around and I didn't even think about it. Recently, a family member called me. I'm not feeling well. Okay. And I have a belief that they're sick and blah, blah, blah. And I know I need to change some of my self concept around it. And I thought to myself, they're like, can you come do something with me? And I was like, I'm not really in the mood right now. And I was like, I'm going to manifest them feeling better. I thought about it for a split second. No joke. And then they call me about 15 minutes later and I'm like, okay, I'm getting ready to come. Like, how are you feeling? I'm actually feeling better. Because I fucking manifested it. I turned it around within 10 minutes. 10 fucking minutes. That's how easy this all is. And I need you to start believing that you can change anything easily. And I get it. At first, it seems like bullshit. But why not assume better? Stop assuming that it's hard. Stop assuming that like it takes a lot of programming and all this shit. Fuck that. Are you going to have to persist with certain things? Of course you are. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's all magic, but why not just start assuming that it can be all magic or I'm on my way to doing that? Okay. I know I got into a really wrong rant about that. I'm so glad you taught me because it does help. I manifested to make this person. I didn't like move away. See, you can fucking do anything. I swear to God, you can do anything. Like, I've done some such insane shit. I'm telling you, like, I've changed things that could have gotten me in trouble. Not that I really did anything illegal, but like, you know, being in the wrong place at the wrong time type of thing. Like that, like if I didn't switch it in my mind, I would have been really fucked and I wasn't. Like legal trouble. Okay. And I'll talk about it in the future when I feel like safe talking about it. But like some things are too personal. So I feel weird saying it because you got to remember I'm also being recorded. But like you can change anything. I've changed documents where like the way I signed it could have looked illegal, even though it wasn't. Okay. Like I wrote the wrong thing. And then in my mind, I wrote something else knowing that that could have like, I wouldn't even say illegal. That could have fucked something up for me. And in my mind, I changed it, even though I know I signed it wrong. And then in my mind, I changed it and guess what? I was fine. Even though that's the way I fucking signed it. I'm telling you nothing. It's all you. This is all a big fucking game. And I know it sounds, I know is it just me or I'm like swearing like a sailor today? I don't know what it is. Me and the attitude today. It's just like this no fuck attitude. Maria, can I manifest away liver damage? Fuck yeah, you can. Magic stars. This is my best belief. Okay. Anytime you're dealing with an illness, fucking go back to the first time it happened to you and fucking revise that shit. If it was drinking that did it, then imagine that you stopped like you or whatever it is, wherever like you always revise the root cause. So if it was drinking or if it was like an illness, revise that it was never that and then persist in that. Okay. Yes, we are a common denominator. Okay. This sounds very silly, but how can we all be the highest power and not have free will simultaneously? What do you mean? Courtney, you're going to have to re-ask that because I don't know what you mean by that. I've always stated in your world, that world revolves around you. Exactly. When people say shit to me, here's something I heard from someone and I thought it was wonderful. And it was about dating. And I just giggled. And they're like, I always tell people, like, I'm sorry to hear that. They're like, well, what do you think? I'm like, that hasn't been my experience. Meaning, like, I'm not going to agree with you on that. I'll listen to you, but I'm not going to accept that as true for myself. And sometimes I just revise shit as they're talking because I'm just like, I really don't want this in the world in general. But whatever, they're my past beliefs a lot of times. So there's so many ways you can do this. I've had a hard time getting into this state of the wish fulfilled. Okay, so if you're having a hard time getting into the wish fulfilled, is it because you have resistance? Or is it because you're in the wrong state? Sometimes we're trying to manifest from a state that's like, I can't do it. So you got to go to a state where you can do it, right? So you got to be a little more specific. I feel like my mind won't let me go there. It's because it's the version of you that you currently are right now. It's the state that's preventing you. You just have to jump to a state where you can. So you need to work on this right here. You pretty much just said it in your I want to tell you all something. A lot of times your answer is in your fucking question. Like I've heard other coaches say this. I don't hear a lot of people say it. It's in your fucking question. It's the opposite of what you're saying. I've had a hard time getting into the state or the wish fulfilled. Start believing that you're the version of you that it's easy. You have a belief that things are hard for you. Guaranteed. I'm telling you, just by that. A lot of times, just reading a few things from you, I know exactly where your head's at. Feel like my mind won't let me go there. Well, if you believe you can't go there and it's hard, well, you're going to get more of that. And I get it. I know what, listen, I'll be honest with you. When you're in the state, it can feel challenging. So when you are feeling that resistance, you need to feel it in your body, right? Like it feeling hard or you feeling like I'll be honest with you. When people are in that state, it's kind of like feeling like a failure, like you can't move forward, like you're stuck. So you need to feel through that resistance and then you need to embody the version of you that things are easy for and that your mind allows you to go wherever you want, right? So you need to change your assumptions around that. Okay. When I was little, I used to literally reverse manifest. An example is when I was like 7 and tried to win gymnastics awards by me affirming in my head, it won't be me, and win it. Okay, it won't. You had some, okay. I mean, here's the thing. So you know what you did there. So you probably had a belief that things always work for you. You know what that shows me? People say that want, can't, don't register in the mind. That's bullshit to me because that's a vibration. You probably had a belief that you were going to win no matter what, my love. And that's why you fucking manifested that shit. You probably had a belief it didn't matter. That's not manifesting in reverse. That's you having very good assumptions about yourself, Courtney. Even when you doubted yourself, you knew you were a good fucking gymnast. I guarantee you were probably like a top tier gymnast. I guarantee you were a top tier gymnast. Tell me or don't, Courtney, did you not have good beliefs about yourself? And you probably just believed you were probably either believed you were really good at gymnastics or you just thought you were good at things in general. Or maybe you were afraid to give yourself what you want. It could be, sometimes it's a lot of, here's the thing. There is no one fucking answer. And when coaches say that, I get so mad because I'm like, that's bullshit. There is no one answer to everything because we're all so different. Is there like a general consensus of what could be going on? Absolutely. I won't lie about that, but there is no one answer. It's not that you were manifesting in reverse. It appeared to be that way because your self-concept is always what manifests, right? So if you had a really good self-concept, I can win at anything I do, even when you're doubting yourself, you would have been fine. And you'll answer that, I'm sure, in the comments below. Hold on. Do you have any tips on manifesting an SP when you've been in a relationship before? Yes, just, okay. Like, how do you live in the end when you have no past experience to imagine with? Oh, it doesn't matter. You just imagine being with them. So you would do it any way you would with anyone. Imagining something with someone, I mean, do you at least know the person or is this like a celebrity or something? Can you be a little bit more specific so I can give you a better answer? I mean, as in how can all of us be in charge of our realities? There is no, everyone's not in charge of their reality. You only are. Meaning in my reality, you're all like not real. I know that sounds silly, but that's how you need to think of it. Like, that doesn't mean I would harm you or anything like that, but like, no one's really in charge in their own reality. It's just you, the one dominating person in your reality. Let's say it this way. In your reality, you're the only one with power, nobody else. Okay? In your own little separate bubble, in my bubble, none of you have power. Absolutely none. Unless I think you do. Does that make sense? I hope that answered your question. So Courtney, in your reality, nobody has power, just you. And then in Bob's reality, only Bob has free will, okay? And everybody and people can get the same thing in different realities because we're all in our own little bubble. And people will step down for you and give you what you want because they want that for you because they are you. They're just a reflection, okay? I'm going to manifest my SPs to stop drinking. If I were you, if they're dealing, why not just believe they were never an alcoholic in the first place? So that way you can drink together. I mean, or you can imagine them holding one of those chips. I've done that with one of my other clients and it worked really well with with their husband. That's all I'm going to say. And I know she's okay with me sharing this because she was on a live expressing this. Like, we talked a while ago, but she had great success with her husband. Like, he's been I don't even know, like probably at this point, like a year sober. Just imagine them holding that chip if in going to AA, or just imagine or revise that they were never a big drinker, right? You got to revise the first time you thought that though, or the first time you saw that pattern and you persist until it changes. Okay. My SP said we had our time together. Okay. That's because you probably have a belief that they don't want to be with you anymore. You need to work on that, my love. Could you please give me a phrase for the opposite of that? Thank you. Thank you for answering my questions. Okay. Susanna, I love you. And I'm going to be really honest here. And this isn't like I'm a tough love person. Okay. So you got to be ready for the tough love. There is no perfect answer I can give you because it's your belief in the way there, sweetie. You got to change your self concept. You're saying to me here, we had our time together, meaning like it's over. There's nothing else you could do. That's what I'm hearing there from him. Okay. So you have this belief that he's done with you. So that's what you need to change internally. You need to stop believing that people just like leave or when they're done, they're done. You have some type of belief and self-concept around that. And then you need to change your belief about them. Here's the thing. Am I here to motivate you, make you feel better? Abso-fucking-lutely. But you need to start looking within yourself too to find that answer. Do you see what I'm saying? I would just believe that everything's happening the way it needs to and that you are going to have your time together because you know you're meant to be and he knows it too. You need to focus on that version, not the one you have. You're giving that one too much focus, and then you need to change your self-concept that's creating that one as well. Okay, so you probably have a belief that like when people are done, they're done. And I think you also have a belief, because I think you said they were getting married. You have a belief that someone's better than you, or that there's always someone better than you to that extent. But Susanna, I don't know 100% what's going on because we're just having a little dialogue here, but overall, just change your story, but change your self-concept as well. And I think you should also watch that video I did, or I think you're the one that said that you manifested them back twice, right? Oh my God, yes. When I was younger, I manifested my bullies to move away. Of course, there you go. Come on. Y'all know how you all know how important you are and like how special you are and like how like you can do anything. And I know you all know that. Okay. Haha. I kind of already knew that I was doing this. I was like trying to not jinx myself. See, you knew you were a badass. I messed around with this technique so much. See, you fucking know you're a badass. I fucking knew it too. I was like, bullshit, you were reverse. Bullshit, you were reverse manifesting. That's not how it works. You manifest off of your beliefs. So if you're thinking, I can't do this, I'm not going to win. You had some good beliefs either about gymnastics or just about yourself in general. Like, I'm a master at everything I do. That's a good belief to have. You keep persisting with those beliefs, okay? No, not a celebrity. I met him a few times at a concert. Great. So, girl, you act like you never. Okay. Then use that interaction that you had with him. Why not just believe? This is what I would do, Kasia. You know what I would do? Because you've seen him at a concert before and you know what it's like to interact with them or at least be around them. Why don't you have an imaginal scene or script it if you're not really good at imagining? Because people are like, I can't really visualize. Trust me, that doesn't fucking matter. You can barely see it grainy and it still work. That's not how imagination works. But I'll admit, when you practice more, you can get really vivid with your imagination. I've had times where it's like so scary to the point where like I can't tell the difference between reality and my imagination, which is actually really good. And the truth is, your imagination is the only real thing, okay? So what I would do for you, I would set an end scene that you guys are at a concert together and you're in a relationship. Just imagine that you are at a concert and they're holding your hand. You're at whatever concert. I don't know what concert you're at. You could be at freaking Nicki Minaj. You could be at Michael Bublé. You could be at, I don't know, a symphony orchestra. I don't know. We're just saying hypothetically, right? I don't know what you're at. But let's say you're at a concert. It's loud. You're dancing. Imagine he's standing next to you, dancing with you, kissing you and being like, babe, I love you. I'm so glad you're my girlfriend. Boom, there's your fucking end scene. There's your end scene. Use the exposure that you've had in the past to build the future because you already have beliefs around it. You've already met this person. Sorry, I don't. Oh, man, you did say him. And you have experience with him. So use that to your advantage. All right. Holding one of those chips. Oh, like them being sober. Got it. Yeah. Like holding like an AA chip. But if you like drinking and like you want them to be able to drink with you, I would just revise that they never even had a problem unless they're like a full-blown alcoholic and you got a lot of beliefs around it. But you got to be careful because when you manifest people having like an addiction, that's a third party too in itself because they can't fully show up for you. So just make sure that you work on the self-concept because then you have a belief that like people aren't really there for you. They're not choosing you, right? They're choosing the alcohol. They're choosing the other third party or whatever. Okay, let me see. Thank you. You're correct. It's fear. Thank you. We have 4 children. Girl, you got 4 children together and you doubting that shit. Susanna, come on. 4 children? You are the mother of his children. You know, okay, can I be real honest with you? And I'm not saying this in a bad way. Anytime, and I'm not saying that you can't have multiple children with other people. And, dynamics change. We live in a very ever-changing world, and that's proof that, you can literally have anything. But why not use that to your advantage? He will always love me and only want me because I am the mother of his children, not this bitch. Well, unless there is a kid involved, I don't know that yet, but why not believe that? Of course he wants me. I'm the mother of his children. I mean the world to him. This was just a bridge. Why not just start believing that she had to pop up in the picture so you two could actually work it out and forever be together? That was your bridge. That's what I would believe. You have 4 children together. I would hold on to that. He only had kids with me because he only loves me. I'm the love of his life. I'm his everything. I'm his ride or die. He knows that. Men don't have children with just anybody. And I mean, they could, but like, why not persist in that belief and use it to your advantage? You literally have the proof of it. I mean, he liked having sex with you enough to have 4 kids. Remember to always use the proof that you have in front of you as an advantage. I always tell them, like, anytime that someone's trying to manifest someone back, whether it's like a guy manifesting his baby mama back, or wife or ex-wife or whatever, trying to manifest their, the father of their children back, use that to your advantage. Use that shit to your advantage. Use anything that makes you feel good. Be like, that woman ain't got shit on me. I got 4 kids. He respects me and honors that. And that makes him love me even more. He realized he can't go through with the wedding because he wants to be with me, nobody else. You know how quickly that shit can change if you change your self-concept and persist in that belief. I wouldn't even worry about her. Be like, no one can replace me. Fuck no. How is anyone going to replace you? Only if you think they can, right? Okay. That makes me smile thinking of that scenario. Thank you. You're so welcome. What are your thoughts on subliminal videos which send affirmations? You can use them. Just make sure you're going to a trusted source, okay? How would you get out of the feeling like you're waiting for your manifestation? You just got to live your life. Just live your life. Why are you looking for it? When people are looking for it, that tells me you haven't fully achieved the state and you need to change your self-concept around it, okay? Because if we're looking for it, we're not in the right. I'm telling you, when you know this shit, when you have a good self-concept, you don't go looking for anything. You just allow. Okay? So you need to change your self-concept and start trusting more. And if you don't have enough belief in the law, then you need to make a list every day. You need to do things and work on other things in your life. And you need to work on your self-concept, or maybe take a break and then come back to your manifestation. It depends. I don't know exactly where you are in the journey and what you're trying to get. He still says he loves me and I'm always on his mind. Fuck yeah, you're always on his. Girl, that's proof, Susanna. That is your proof right there, Mama Bear. Okay, so I need you to really start believing that. Start believing it and start feeling it. And I need you to start believing I'm enough. There's no one better than me. Everyone always chooses me. I'm the fucking competition. Work on that, my love. You're her competition. She is not your competition. You are her competition. You are the mother of his children. She is not. She is just your shadow self. Here's the thing. You shouldn't even hate the third party because they're there to show you what's within you. She's only there because you have some insecurities. The moment you fix those insecurities, you know how quickly those third parties go away? They go running, running like they never existed. You're welcome, Christine. All right. So I've been on here now for almost an hour. This was a lot of fun. This was definitely different. I'm going to definitely need, if any of y'all want to be moderators, please DM me on TikTok or Instagram. I'm looking for more moderators. I only have like 3 right now, but I'm looking for a few more. I'm not going to post this video, so don't worry if I called out your name or whatever. This was just kind of like a sporadic, right? Well, not sporadic. I did plan it, but this is definitely like a test run, but I will do another live next week. I will plan it better and you'll see a video for it. All right. Everybody have a good evening. Enjoy the rest of your Thanksgiving. Love you. Have a good night. And I'm going to end it.